Hi, this is Jody Mayeux. Welcome back to another video. Today's lesson we're going to talk about 4 more riffs and using the minor pentatonic again, but this time we're going to use the second position. Okay, so we're playing A minor pentatonic in the second position. We're going to start on the 8th fret on the 6th string, and that's middle finger to try to give you the best finger positioning that I possibly can. 8th fret, middle finger, then over to the 10th fret with the pinky, index finger on the 7th fret on the 5th string, moving down, and then over to the 10th fret on the 5th string. Dropping down to the next string at the 4th string, 7th fret, then over to the 10th fret with your pinky. Then dropping down again, 3rd string, this is now the 7th fret, then over the 9th fret, and then dropping down again on the 8th fret. This time I'm using middle finger, and then over to the 10th fret using the pinky, and then on the 1st string we're going to play 8 and 10 again, 8 and then 10. That's middle finger to pinky. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you about this particular scale pattern is because every book that you read will teach you that finger pattern. It's similar to what's like a major scale, but with 2 notes left out. But however, I'm not going to talk about them 2 notes that I want to get rid of, but I really want to talk to you about finger positioning. The pattern that I've got using the index, middles, and pinkies is really not what most guitar players use. It's what the book says to use. But if you watch players on the bandstand, especially people like B.B. King and rock and roll guys play it, when they use the second position, they're usually on the 1st strings using index and ring finger a lot, especially if you listen to Eric Johnson. Here's Eric Johnson's finger pattern for that. It would have been something like 8 with the index finger, then 10 with the ring, then dropping down to the 5th string using the 7th and the 9th fret, going from index to the ring again. Then dropping down again to the 4th string using those same fingers. Then on the 3rd string it would have went from the 7th to the 7, 8, 9th fret here using index and ring. And then the 1st strings 8 and 10 like so. So to get a little speed, you see the players using the wrong finger patterns, because there's no way physically you're going to get them using the correct finger patterns. That was a big thing that took me a while to get down pat when I first started playing these scale patterns. The first riff that I want to give you using this pattern is using the first 2 strings, the 8th fret and 10th frets on the 1st strings. So I'm going to do you a little 4-note pattern. I'm going to alternate the picking on each one of these. So I got up, down. So like I told you in the first video, start dwelling on some of those like a rock player would go, and you would have a pattern that looks something like this. Such as that. So that would be one of the first riffs that I would tell you to practice on to get that second position. Another one that I like a lot is using the 3rd string. Second riff for today would go like 9th fret on the 3rd string, then 7th fret on the 3rd string, then going up up guitar-wise but lower in pitch, over to the 10th fret on the 4th string, and then finally on the root of the A, which is going to be on the 7th fret, 4th string. So I got... My favorite way to play this was like we talked about in the first video, where we do pull-offs. Pulling off the note and moving up. Because you get so much faster by doing that. So again, like over an A chord progression, you would be playing some A riff to get a little speed behind you on that. Another riff that I like to play is just going ascending through the scale using the first 3 strings. Using a 7 on the 3rd string, 9, and then 8 and 10 on the 2nd, 8, 10 on the bottom, and using that all together and hammer on it as you go down the scale. I heard that a lot in a lot of Leonard Skinner licks whenever they were doing some of their Texas swing, or shall I say just swing music. Like a song they did called Call Me the Breeze. They were doing some of those licks that went... And you could tell the guy was using that second position because the way the notes were stacked up in that area. And for our last lick, I'm going to just give you a couple of double stops that we haven't talked about before. If you don't know what the term double stops is, that means 2 notes being played at the same time together. And usually, a lot of times, they'll be adjacent or just together on like 2nd and 3rd strings together, like grouped in pairs. So the first lick, or last lick I'm going to give you today is using this 3rd string at the 7th fret, and then the second string at the 8th fret. And we're going to take those 2 notes and slide up a whole step. And I'm coming right back down. I'm sliding in, a whole step up, and then I'm sliding right back down. So I got... Then I'm going to end the riff by going up to the 9th fret, or 10th fret on the 4th string and ending with the root on the 7th fret, because that is the A note. So I got... You hear Jimi Hendrix doing these kind of licks a lot in his playing. And that completes today's lesson on 4 riffs using the 2nd position of the minor pentatonic scale. I know. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you want to see more videos like this.